Yo, what's going on? We're here today, and I know if you recognize that music, then you already know what type of video this is going to be. But I'm doing a little breakdown video, shouldn't be too long, just about the different metagames that we have had so far in Sun and Moon OU, the current gen OU. I realize the generation's ending pretty soon. I mean, the new game will come out in 5-6 months. We've been playing SM for almost 3 years now. So I figured I'd kind of break down the 6 suspect tests we've had. Basically talk about each meta, which one was my favorite, how I felt about the meta games, and that kind of thing. I don't expect this to be too long or like too overly in depth, but I still have a lot of my old teams from different meta games and stuff like that, and basically just want to close out the generation by talking about how I felt about it. So with that, let's hop right into it. So Sun and Moon released back in November. And the first suspect test we had was Genesect. So Genesect got banned in 1 month by a pretty overwhelming majority. This mon always gets banned in the first month or two every time it gets dropped. Gen 6, same thing happened. It got banned before because the game always drops in November, right? Well, in Gen 5, when did this shit come out? Black White 2, it got banned in a couple months. In Gen 6, it got banned in 1 month, and then in Gen 7, it also got banned in 1 month because Genesect can never be healthy for a metagame. Maybe in Gen 8, it'll switch it up, but Genesect was so heinous. I don't even have too many replays. The only one I have is this one from, again, 3 years ago versus Jam. This game's not that good, but you can just see, the type of threat Genesect can portray to both teams. Both these teams have Heatran. However, this was back when everyone was using Heatran because Genesect was on the rampage, so I used to use HP ground Genesect. But yeah, so you can see here, this game is pretty boring. I dodged Focus Blast, I had it from the beginning. But then he goes into Heatran here. I think I just HP ground on the switch, right? No, I T-bolt. I switch out again because I'm afraid of him scouting HP ground. But I'm expert belt. Hold up. He sacks it. I go into knockoff, Latios, Landorus, U-turn, HP ground, Heatran, T-bolt, able to do big damage, Ice Beam. He goes for Calm Mind, but no, I got the expert belt U-turn. He didn't think I had it. The problem with Genesect was that it was able to run too many moves too well. And that's always the thing. Scarf Genesect is pretty decent, but it was no match for both Banded and Mix. Banded was, holy shit, Banded was horrible to face. Because you were playing 760 base attack, U-turn, extreme speed, Iron Head, it was horrible. That mon was extremely unfair to go up against. And Mix, don't even get me started on Mix. Ice Beam, E-speed, Iron Head, Bug Buzz, Flamethrower, T-bolt, bro, Genesect was too much. Genesect was always too much though, so I don't really have too much. This thing had never even saw any usage in tournaments because it got banned before the basically first big SM tournament, which was SPL. So Genesect really never got to shine in tournament or anything, but it was very obviously broken, and they had to get rid of that shit ASAP. You know what I'm saying? They had to get rid of that. Wait, when did Marshadow get banned? I'm not even gonna well, that's later on, but I'm not even gonna really discuss Marshadow in this video just because Marshadow got banned immediately. Same with Naga and Adele. Both of those got quick banned. They were not suspect tests, but I don't really have replays to show. They both had to get out of the metagame pretty quick because they were both very obviously broken. Marshadow more than Naga and Adele, but both were pretty terrible. So with that, let's move on to suspect test 2. So then we had dirt meta. So this was actually the first. You can see even your boy is the one who posted this. This is back when I cared about the metagame before I super Saiyanned up, and no tech is too much for me now. But however, 2 years ago, we were thinking about Dugtrio. We were like, man, what are we doing with this Pokemon? So this was the first attempt at seeing how the public felt about Dugtrio, if it should be banned or not. I believe at this time I wasn't sure how I felt about it getting banned. I definitely wasn't a big fan of this mon. I knew it was really hard to play against. Even in SPL, as you can see, me and my opponent both brought Dugtrio, him running an offensive type and me running the very classic stall. If you guys remember, this is from SPL way back. I won this game pretty easily with my stall. I even have some teams here from the very beginning of SM back when I was playing that show the Dugtrio teams I like to run. I ran this one a lot. My boy NJMP built this Volcarona stall. Dugtrio removed Heatran and other threats, and then bulky Volcarona was usually able to sweep very nicely. And this team was very hard to defeat because you had eject button Toxapex to switch into Magma Storm Heatran, get sent out, bringing Dugtrio dead. Unless you played a Shed Shell Heatran, it was very rare that you would lose to a Heatran team with this build, because Volcarona usually slays Heatran teams as long as you're able to get rid of Heatran. And the worst part is, thanks to eject button, Dugtrio can come in, kill the Heatran, and then if it's even Heatran plus Toxapex, it can come back in later and kill Toxapex thanks to Screech. Dugtrio, oh my god, dude. What else did I have with Dugtrio? Oh, this was my favorite stall, actually. I liked this stall even more than the Sableye stall. I really liked this one. I used to run Scarf Dugtrio sometimes as well because Coco's a pretty big threat. But this stall is very, very good. Very, very strong. This team was the actual reason that I started to believe that Dugtrio was broken to some degree. This team was the one that was like, I would win so much with this team back in the day. Like, I would always win on ladder with this team, and I was like, okay, this is a broken team. And I would lose to it a lot too. I was like, I don't know how you're supposed to defeat this team. But I think that's it for my Dugtrio teams. Oh no, I had some more. Like, I had this Zard team. Of course, Mr. Jam's team with Zard, but I'll get into that later because that's more of a separate metagame pick. Then he had more Stall, more Charizard Dugtrio, which is just an annoying pick. Jam Zard, as you can see, like, Dugtrio was really out there. I had Stall for ladder. This team is horrible. Even Klinklang and Necrozma were viable because you could use Dugtrio to get rid of the stupid Pokemon. Like, Dugtrio, yup, Fire MZ, Volk Stall, just the updated Stall. Yup, more Stall, more Stall. My man Dugtrio was really out here, but let's move on. So, yep, that was the second stage of the metagame. Dugtrio very closely dodged getting banned, I remember. Dugtrio made it out live, and then we moved on to the third. God, it's crazy to think how many suspect tests we used to have in such a short amount of time. We had Nagana Null and Marsh Shadow banned pretty quickly. December was Genesect, that was the first one. A month and a half later, we had the Dugtrio, and then a month and a half later, again, we had Pheromosa test, and Pheromosa got banned. This one, I knew it had to go. I knew it had to go. At first, I wasn't sure. I had been using it a lot, but I wasn't sure how I felt. And did I even write anything? There's no way I wrote anything. Oh, this is a very hashtag. Yeah, I would say some shit like that. This is probably a lame paragraph that somebody else wrote for me. Anyway, so back to Pheromosa. This thing was unstoppable. This mon was absolutely broken. There's no... Do I even have any teams with it, or did I delete all my teams? Sad. Deleted all my Pheromosa teams. Is it in all? Do I got any Pheromosa? Let's see. Oh, I deleted all of them. Okay, but Pheromosa, yeah, we don't even got to talk. That was the worst Pokemon to ever run into. I remember there was this one team that my buddy TDK built that, like, everybody was using. Ah, shit, I forgot. It was like Garchomp, Amoonguss, Mew, Pheromosa, Zapdos, and then one other who I can't remember. It was something like this. Either way, this shit was hella hard to beat. I think it might have been Greninja. Nah, it had to have been a Steel type. Whatever, it's not really important. But yeah, he had this team that everyone was like running around with. Pheromosa was like, the problem with Pheromosa, looking back, was that I think Rapid Spin was too much. I thought Rapid Spin was really well, that was maybe just like a good thing. That's not why it was broken, but I think it was too annoying how many sets it could run that were all viable. Banded was garbage, but Specs, Scarf, Z Move, Quiver Dance, Mix, like, dude, it was too much. This is a really funny post. I remember this post is hilarious, showing that the Z move is the one that pushed this thing off the edge. And who created Z move, bro? It was CTC. CTC created Z move. What's it called? Pheromosa. I remember he gave me this team way back in SPL, and this shit was so good, bro. This Pheromosa team was so good. This was Z fighting Rapid Spin. How did this team work? He led off with that, as I led off with my Pheromosa. He went for T-Bolt. Got on my rock, switched out, did some dumb shit, Ice Beam to knock it out. He goes into this guy, Bullet Punch, but my boy is able to live. Almighty Sosa, and then all out pummeling for the Oko. Man, I miss this Pokemon. Not really though. But yeah, that mon was just absolutely broken. There was like no discussion. I remember even this mon. Look at P2's team, bro. He had Pheromosa and Dugtrio and Magnezone, bro. He trying to trap everybody. But I remember this game was hilarious because Quiver Dance Mosa was able to sweep after a Dugtrio Memento. I think, was that the case? What happened? He Mementoed, yes, and then he swept, dude, which just shows, like, he put both of the broken mons in tandem, bro. In tandem. Mementoed broken Dugtrio plus broken Quiver Dance setup Pheromosa. Mosa was the worst. Mosa was easily broken. Anybody who says Mosa isn't broken is so dumb. Shout out CBB. Yeah, Mosa was horrible. I'm happy this thing got banned. I remember I was like, this thing has got to go. This is one of the worst Pokemon to ever run into. However, the metagame was pretty fun. Just because, like, I liked, you know, losing to Mosa speed ties and all that stuff. That's sarcasm, by the way. Let's move on to suspect test 4. The robots. Metagross was banned. I definitely clicked ban on Metagross as well when I voted for this. I thought this thing was horribly broken as well. Everybody was using it. As you can see, we both got it here. He probably has it. Every offense looked like this. Every offense looked like this. And every offense had Metagross. It's like people had no idea how to use anything besides Metagross. If I go back to SPL 8 replays and I go to SM and I skip to like a random week, I guarantee you'll see a Metagross in like every game. 2 Metagross right here. See, I told you. Like, it was crazy. It was crazy back then. What is this? Any Metagross? No Metagross. All right. Pretty impressive. I know I used Metagross like almost every week if I could. Like, Metagross was really, really nice. And the reason, I remember I had a good reasoning. I don't know if I had good reasoning for why it was banned, but I remember the reason I wanted to ban it was because all of its moves were too good in the metagame, which might sound stupid, but the moves Metagross has access to are really good, like inherently. Ice Punch and Thunder Punch are both just good moves, boosted by Tough Claws. They have great coverage. They have a Hacks chance, which is very big. And then its other moves, its stab moves are also similar. Zen Headbutt has a Hacks chance, very strong thanks to Tough Claws. Meteor Mash, boosted by Tough Claws. Attack Raise chance, like Metagross had all of its moves, because first of all, Metagross is so good at being able to get off its moves because nothing can kill it. Like Scarf Garchomp can't kill it with Earthquake after Rough Skin, which is ridiculous. And then of course after Rocks, it also is not going to be able to kill. So Metagross in general, the problem with it for me was that it was able to live all attacks and basically kill everything too. Like it was like very obviously unfair to me. And it was like, and you know, people realized that and they were using it so much. Like Metagross was such an easy Pokemon to put on your team and win with. It was crazy to me that how in Gen 6 that it's really good in Gen 6, but it's not ban worthy. But in Gen 7, oh my god, dude, people were using Scizors and stuff, but back then Scizor was not at the top of its game, so even as a Metagross check, it wasn't good. And even there were some HP Fire Metagrosses, I remember. It was crazy, bro. People were really teching everything they could on Metagross. Let me go through my builder, see if I have any good teams to discuss Metagross meta. Well, I definitely do. Yeah, this is a good one. The offense, I think I showed that in one of my, I think someone else used that. But yeah, Metagross left pretty quickly. So the only real team I have with Metagross is the offense here. I used some Salamence team, but this was basically what a basic offense looked like. Z-move Heatran, Metagross with all the moves that just beat everything. Scarf Garchomp was very nice tech back then. People really liked that because the Z-move Volk was slowly starting to rise. Specs Gengar, oh my god, you don't even see Gengar anymore, but back then it was a big menace. Big menace. Like if I played Specs Gengar with this team, it'd be over. That shit would be such a big threat. I missed that one. But let's move on. That was the Suspect Test round 4 in the first like 5 months, and then they got rid of Metagross before Smogon Tour playoffs. Okay, then September, we tried to Suspect Test Dugtrio again, and this time it actually got banned. This was pretty interesting to me, pretty expected as well. Like, well, no, it wasn't expected. I wasn't actually sure what to expect when they Suspect Tested Dugtrio again, because I was like, man, it already dodged getting banned the first time. I'm not sure if it's gonna get banned again, but I think it got banned. What was the majority like for banning this? How did it go? Arena Trap is now banned from OU. I'd like to know what happened. Okay, so it looks like wow, 100 people put ban and 10 people put do not ban. This is ridiculous, bro. Oh my, people really wanted Dugtrio out, and for good reason too. Dugtrio was one of the worst Pokemon we had to deal with. Especially at this point. I remember I think people realized after we didn't ban it the first time, the metagame got to such a disgusting point. I remember the World Cup leading up to this was so bad. So much Dugtrio. I got 2 replays to show you the 2 types of Dugtrio teams. This is one, Dugtrio plus Zard plus shit like Celesteela. Extremely hard to beat. This was Double Trap. I think I just had a good matchup this game. I don't think anyone could lose this matchup, so that is 1 point. But like, it's not like Ray Scarface's team is bad, but it's hella invalidated by Dugtrio, Celesteela, Charizard. Like, the trapping ability was too much. And then of course this game was really crazy to me as well. PDC brought Shed Shell Toxapex specifically for a Dugtrio, and then he still lost to Suicune. I guess that doesn't really show why Dugtrio is broken, but you can see that like the strats that Dugtrio is able to employ. You can see Dugtrio plus Celesteela again, which is a good core because Celesteela is only really weak to Toxapex and Heatran. So if you're able to kill those, then your Celesteela is basically unkillable for your opponent and can probably sweep your team. Like, look, if PDC didn't have Shed Shell on his Toxapex and Dugtrio trapped Toxapex and Heatran, Celesteela would have 6-0'd him. And then he gets 6-0'd by Suicune regardless because I think his Pex didn't have Haze or something. I don't remember. But yeah, like that's the thing. Dugtrio could be run on all these different types of offensive or balanced teams, and it didn't really care. And that was a huge problem because people were starting to realize, oh shit, it's not just stall. Like, you can cheese through with your offense as well. Like, hold up. There was this one game I remember. I wish I could just like judge by Mons. It was in the playoffs, I think. But yeah, I'll show you another take on Dugtrio offense I saw. Yeah, it was this one. Hold up. Yeah, so as you can see, Dugtrio offense yet again. I just trapped the stuff from Electric and everything. ABR also had a very Dugtrio weak team in general though, which is probably on him more than anything else. What was John versus ICT? Does this have a Dugtrio in it? Yup, Dugtrio versus Charizard again. Like, Dugtrio was everywhere, bro. People would not like forgo this mon, and for good reason, bro. It was so good. It was so good. I don't know if anyone else used it, but like, I don't really care enough to check. But yeah, Dugtrio was really heinous at this point in the metagame, and people did not want it anymore. So it was good that we got rid of this. This was like I thought leading up to this, so around like July 2017, June 2017, all that OLT period, I thought SM was the worst metagame ever. Like, I thought that it was the worst OU had ever been. Like, any OU had ever been was 2017 OU. Yeah, 2017 SMOU was probably the worst OU has ever been, in my opinion. I think SM was horrible. It was not fun, and a lot of people shared that opinion too. I remember me and Joey were talking about it. I'm like, dude, why is the new gen not fun at all? And he's like, dude, there's too much like lame strategies and stuff like that and broken stuff. So this was definitely the least amount of fun I ever had playing Pokemon, specifically right before Doug ban. So I'd say like June to like November 2017, I thought SM was a trash, boring meta, and I really was not fucking with it too much. That's actually when I started getting back into ORS. But anyway, let's move on. And then round 6, let's see what we have here. Which one was this? Zygarde. This is the last one. This was more than 1 year from the Dugtrio ban, so we were stuck with the same metagame for a very long time. And you were able to be creative, but even then, Zygarde showed it that it was like too commanding in the metagame. After a few months, like after we banned Dugtrio, it was kind of cool because people were like, okay, you can kind of switch it up a little bit. But slowly people started to realize that Zygarde was the biggest threat that there could be. And I could definitely agree with that. Zygarde, I don't know if I agree that it's broken, but I do agree that banning Zygarde was one of the best things we did for Sun and Moon. I think Sun and Moon right now is really fun. I think it has been fun since... I thought it was... Let me see. Did I enjoy Sun and Moon last year? I think so. When I was playing Smoke on Tour and everything, I enjoyed SM. I'd say I have enjoyed SM for the last year. I would say around May 2018 is when I started enjoying SM again, and up until now, it's been pretty enjoyable as well. But banning Zygarde was very, very good. Not that I don't know if I think it's broken. It's probably by itself, it's probably not that broken. But it had too much variability in its sets and everything, and it could do way too much with just one Pokemon. And that was one of the reasons it got banned, and it could sweep most teams. I remember I had so many different types of Zygarde teams that I really liked. Like this team, ABR Subtoxic Zygarde. Look at this, Subtoxic Protect. Oh my god, I used to smash kids with this team. I had this team as well, you know, Ground DMZ. It could easily be Banded or Glare on that team too. You can never tell because that team looks so standard. This team is, I'm pretty sure it's Banded on this one. Yup, Banded on this stall. And then I had one team which I even used in the playoffs. I only used one Zygarde in the playoffs. But it was Screens, I believe. TDK Screens. Yeah, this team is so broken, dude. This team is so broken. I smashed that dude, and I won a whole Smoke on Tour with this, and I used it in playoffs and won as well. Light Screen plus Zygarde. This set was like the real demon to me. Setting up screens and then going for a win with Zygarde like this was too much. This is why I thought Zygarde was broken, because I thought Screens plus Zygarde was just way too much for the metagame to handle. Like, I really did not want that shit sticking. And then you even had stuff like this. Subcoil Zygarde plus Grassy Terrain. Extremely hard to deal with. I love this team. I haven't used it in a while, obviously, but yeah, this one was really good as well. So Zygarde, way too much variability in the sets, way too much stuff that was just becoming unviable thanks to it, thanks to Zygarde being able to glare, sub up, set up, and then sweep you. So Zygarde getting banned, to me, was definitely a step in the right direction. Just for the whole meta as a whole, it really brought a lot of creativity. And moving past that ban, I think I started to enjoy SM a lot more. Because I had taken a break after Smoke on Tour. Hold up, I had to drink some water. I've been talking too much. But, oh shit. I think that the Zygarde ban really helped the metagame. You were able to use a lot more creative stuff, and I started enjoying the game more because you were able to use just weirder inventions, you know what I mean? And the metagame also became more offensive. Stall became less pressing as time went on as well, so I think the metagame right now is in the best place it's been. During SPL time was probably the most fun I had playing Pokemon. I mean, the last year I've had a lot of fun with SM because, you know, you can be creative. You can use Glalie, but CTC, you know, he was making all this heat and stuff like that. And, you know, Stall still exists. You see, I got this team right here called Stall Pussies, but that team is not good. Like, Stall in general is at the lowest it's ever been, which I think is amazing. So, going through all the metas, I guess I'll talk about my satisfaction with each meta. Genesect meta at the very beginning, fun, but that's because it was just new generation, you know. We had to have fun with it. You know, it was exciting. It was new. And Gen 6 we had been playing all day, like, forever. Dugtrio ban. This is around the time I started realizing that, yo, is SM a bad metagame? I'm not saying that as a fact, I'm saying in my opinion. So around this time is when I was starting to think, like, I don't really know if I enjoy SM that much. All the teams were very similar in my opinion. The offensive ones were tough, and I also didn't like Dugtrio. So then they banned Pheromosa, as we remember. Around this time, I think this kind of was just a blur for me these couple months because everything got banned in those months. So Pheromosa and Metagross I abused a lot. I liked them, but I knew they had to go. So I was pretty indifferent about this metagame. But I was happy that the two got banned. I was definitely happy that the two of them got banned. And I was using a lot cooler offenses after these two got banned as well. But yeah, up until then, I think the metagame, around this point, Around this point, when Dugtrio got banned, like a little bit before and a little bit after, it was like the least amount of fun I had playing SM. I thought the metagame was very stale and boring. So this was whatever to me. And Dugtrio was just way too much at the time. Everybody had to use this mon on every team. This thing was defiling every single tournament ever. I had to play so much Dugtrio stall. I had to see so many of my brothers lose to Dugtrio stall. It was too much, man. It was too much. And the last metagame, the Zygarde ban. I think once they banned Dugtrio, and then 2018, halfway through 2018, I started enjoying the metagame again. I thought people were being more creative. I thought there was a lot more room for innovation. Maybe CTC just saved me when he made Hita Fajita teams, bro. I don't know. But finally, we end with the Zygarde ban, and I think this was the best decision because it put SM in a really fun, enjoyable position for me. So how would I rate this generation out of 10? I think this generation started off really horribly, and I almost thought this shit was unsalvageable. I used to even say that. I used to be like, SM is an unsalvageable gen. Let's just wait until Gen 8. So I'm happy now that my opinion has changed, and I do respect Sun and Moon as a generation completely. But I do think that it took a long time for us to get this like metagame situated, and for that reason, I'd give SM as a whole a 6 out of 10 for my enjoyment with it. I think right now it's very fun. I put it at like an 8.5 out of 10, but you got to take everything into account, so I'd give this a 6 out of 10. I'd give Oras an 8 out of 10, and I'd give Black White 9 out of 10, but I'm biased. But no, I'm not biased. It's all objective, all right, baby? Would Oras be an 8? Oras maybe 7.5. Black White maybe like 8.7. But this is a solid 6 to me. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this fun little video. I might do some more in-depth competitive analysis later, but just figured I'd do this video before I forget and the generation just comes up on me by surprise and ends. So hope you guys enjoyed. Drop a like if you did. Let me know what you thought about the video, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.